of the continued truck protest in Canada. This is ramping up. Truck drivers want freedom of choice and a stop to COVID mandates. Their big rig blockade is already having an effect on major automakers. We have a live look at the intersection leading to the Ambassador Bridge, which links Motor City, Detroit, and Canada. It's the biggest border crossing in North America, the U.S. and Canada's busiest trade route. Roughly $100 million in auto imports cross the bridge to and from Canada every single day. This morning, Ford, Toyota, General Motors, and Stellantis, which owns Chrysler, Dodge, and multiple other brands, all forced to at least partially shut down plants because of the protest. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, we may soon see similar blockades right here in the United States, perhaps even on Super Bowl weekend. We'll have more on that coming up later this hour. Right now, we are thankful to have our team in Ottawa once again. Rudabeh Shabazi is live at the center of these protests. Good morning, Rudabeh.
Adrienne, good morning. So we are here in the heart of the downtown district. Businesses all around us shut down. And I just want to show you once again the gas tanks that people are bringing in to fill these trucks. It is very cold out here, so they can't stay out here forever without volunteers bringing them gas, which is illegal, but continues to go on. So far, law enforcement really hasn't done much, but today there is a different mood. We, for example, were not allowed to get back to the place where we had been bringing you live shots before, but of course, it's not hard to find trucks. They are everywhere. But people also are frustrated that law enforcement has basically been letting this go on. They want it to stop. It's now impacting the supply chain, jobs, and prices. The so-called Freedom Convoy, holding the critical route of a quarter of trade between the U.S. and its neighbor to the north, hostage.
They absolutely have a right to protest and can do so somewhere where they're not blocking Canada's most important trade corridor with the United States.
The Ambassador Bridge blockade forcing the whole or partial shutdowns yesterday of Ford, GM, and Stellantis plants. Brian Kingston represents all three and is calling for the Canadian government to remove the protesters, warning that the U.S. might see a similar economic hardship if it persists.
The longer this continues, it creates problems throughout the supply chain. It creates delays in getting parts and components to the assembly plants and will ultimately have an impact on jobs.
They don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be here, but we need the government to come out and talk to them. We need to hear from them. We need to have discussions. But right now they're, being tyrannical.
Up north in Ottawa, Eddie Dunning, who used to drive across the border, gave up his livelihood instead of getting vaccinated. You're not going to leave until when?
Well, this is over.
What if it's a year?
I'll be here.
What if they come with police and try to get you out with police?
I don't care. I got nothing to lose.
Jason Vanderweer hosts meetings with 20 truckers at a time in his vehicle.
There's nothing organized about it. It's just a grassroots thing where people are helping people and trying to get change, trying to get freedom.
But many who live and work in the area are not impressed with the show of defiance, bringing the nation's capital to a logjam.
They just go around and around and around, honking their horns. It's been, I can't sleep at night. It's nuts.
We don't want to see the military coming in, but at the same time, if they refuse to leave, I'm not sure what the options are.
And Prime Minister Justin Trudeau again tweeting late last night, calling for an end to what the government has been calling an occupation. If you talk to the truckers here, as you heard, they call this a peaceful protest. They say they just want the choice to not be vaccinated. But again, 90% of truckers in Canada have been vaccinated. The requirements are the same to come into Canada as they are to come into the United States. Adrienne?
Yeah, Rudabeh, as we've been talking about here, it's not so much about whether they want to get vaccinated or not. In most cases, it's simply the bigger picture of freedom of choice. And they want to have conversations. We'll see if any governments are willing to entertain that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.